Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I realized when I was editing this video that I completely didn't do an introduction, so I wanted to pop in here and say hello. You may have noticed there's been a few less videos at the moment, and that's just because I've been having a little bit of a break from YouTube and creating videos and editing. It's been such a busy summer season and I really felt like I just needed a bit of a break. The videos do take a long time to film, or even just like create the idea, film and then edit them. There's a lot of hours that go into it, so I really just wanted a little bit of a break, but I'm slowly getting back into the swing of things, and as the weather cools down, I'm sure there's going to be lots of content to create. I'm also just very overwhelmed in the garden with all of the jobs to do with the flower farm, and coming to the end of the season, I've just kind of burnt out a little bit, and that's kind of what this video is about, just talking about how I've been feeling in the garden. I also did want to include a little bit of some flower harvesting, because I still have been doing that. Each week I am picking some flowers, but I think I'm going to stop that now for the season and have a little bit of a break. So in the next few clips, there'll be just me picking some flowers with some music. So hopefully it'll be nice and relaxing for you. And if you need to slow down and relax a little bit, if you're also feeling overwhelmed, hopefully that can calm you down a little bit. And then later in the video, I take you on a walk around, just showing you what everything is looking like at the end of the season. Autumn means that just a lot of the plants are slowing down and starting to die off. And we've also just had so much rain over the last 2 days, so things are looking even completely different to how I filmed them now, with a lot of plants have just blown over from all this wind that we've been having. So yeah, it's a very overwhelming time of the year, but I just wanted to check in with you all before the video started and just say a massive thank you to all of those who have been watching the videos and subscribing. There's been so many new subscribers, which is so awesome to see. I am truly so grateful for all of you watching the videos and supporting me here on YouTube. It truly does help me out so much to live this dream that I've wanted for so long. So I really hope you enjoy today's video. Let me know what's going on in your garden and what you're doing for the months of autumn or spring if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with all of the jobs, hopefully this video makes you feel a little bit better, because I certainly am as well. So we are about to get probably well over 100 mil of rain in the next 2 days. So gardening isn't really on my radar right now. It's not really fantastic to be gardening, disturbing soil, pulling out plants when you're about to receive such heavy rain, which works for me and my current garden burnout. I'm just not really interested in doing too much gardening right now. I also have a trip coming up, so I am spending a few days away from the property. So I think it's just a good time to have this break from flower farming and all of the garden work. But I did want to show you just what things are looking like and what things look like at the end of the season, and maybe when you also might want to just start thinking about transitioning some of your garden beds and some of your crops, because I'm down here right now in the zinnia patch, and although it looks beautiful from afar, it's definitely very sad and probably needs to be pulled out at some point. I'll turn you around and show you what I'm talking about. So these are all of the beautiful zinnias, and we're down at the very end of the property, so it slopes all the way down back there. And you can just see how much powdery mildew I have on these zinnias right now. I really don't even want to get too close because I just don't want to be breathing a lot of this in. But yeah, they are riddled with powdery mildew. And I'm not selling these stems anymore. I've been picking from further up in the flower farm where I have a few more zinnias, which just goes to show with plants that are disease prone, like zinnias, it's best to just plant them around your property at different heights if you have a sloped block of land, because yeah, they really do suffer with powdery mildew if they're in a lower lying area. You can just see all of those white spots on them. They even start to actually affect the flowers. Obviously this one is way gone, but you can kind of see around here. But you can kind of see there's a lot of white spots on the flower. It's a bit hard to see on camera. But yeah, the bees are loving life, which is fine. They're not impacted by this, so they can just do their thing and take as much nectar as they desire. I have been using some neem oil on this and also an eco fungicide, which is an organic solution, just to keep the zinnias going as much as possible. And it worked for a while, but it gets to a point in the season when the days are just too short. There's not enough direct sunlight to be able to get rid of the powdery mildew. So it's just kind of when you need to say that things are done and move on with a different crop. So over the next few weeks, I am going to just be pulling out these zinnias, and to be honest, I'm not too sure what I'm going to plant in here. Maybe some more feverfew, because this has worked really well. Again, worked really well is the key word, because now these garden beds are filled with weeds. They've still got some good feverfew plants in there that will definitely last next season, so I can keep some of those in, but we're starting to have a lot of like tobacco weed, which I can just pull out, and some other weeds that I'm probably going to need to get the fork down for, and just tidy all of this up. I find it difficult sometimes in like the subtropics and temperate climates, because we don't directly have any harsh frost or snow, so technically we can extend our season a little bit. And like if I had chrysanthemums planted, I'd be harvesting those soon, but you know, there's only so much I can grow in this area, so it makes it hard to actually have a stop point in your season rather than just keeping on going. It's what I really love about some other cold climates where you do get that definitive break in the year, and I find it difficult sometimes with living here and when we lived in Brisbane to actually find a time in the year when I could have a break in the garden, because I mean right now I want to be super busy and getting all of my cool season crops in and then taking care of them, and then doing the whole thing over again, and that definitely does lead to burnout in the garden because you don't actually let yourself have a break. Speaking of not having a break, the dahlias have been just amazing. They have been so productive over the last few weeks. It doesn't look like it now, but I did a harvest the other day, as you would have seen. And there's still so many new buds, which is amazing. I really do need to come through and take some photos of these so that I can, when I dig the tubers up, I can maybe start selling them, and also just so that I can know what I have planted here, because some of the labels have, the tags have rubbed off. I've been really loving this one here. I can't remember the name of it, but it is absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I've just really been happy with the dahlias this season, and I always forget how productive they are in autumn, which again makes it hard to stop the season, because the zinnias kind of come in first and then the dahlias are just blooming like crazy in autumn. But unfortunately there's not that much else I can put with them, except a few leftover zinnias that I have here. These ones are less affected by the powdery mildew. These were planted later, and I have been trying to keep on top of the treatments for these, so they're looking really healthy. So I should be able to get a few more stems if I want to, if I wanted to keep going. But I think what I'm going to do with a lot of these is actually just use them for taking photos and getting some stock images for my website, and maybe even collect some seeds from these. I'll see how I go. The straw flowers, again, I still haven't taken these out yet. They have been putting on a new flush of growth actually with this cooler weather. And so I've been harvesting like a good few stems from these whenever I make my bouquets. But I do think this will be the end of these. What I'll do is I'll just come through and just pinch off the flowers, because the stems are very short, and I'll just dry these for dried flowers. There is some sunflowers back there that I completely missed the harvest window for these, so they've kind of just started to branch out. These are the lemon rush sunflowers, and they were just a little bit too short when they should have been harvested. So I picked a few, didn't pick them all, and they do start to branch out, this variety. My weed management tarp is over there doing its thing. I obviously need to get another one for this row. But in here I've just got some manure breaking down, some buckwheat that I need to pull up. Some of the status is still going well. Just needs a really good weed throughout here, and then it'll be fine. On the other side I have the last little bit of cosmos and sunflower stems that I need to pull out. That was what this whole row looks like, and now I've just got some more horse manure that's breaking down. I ideally need to just cover this with some cardboard. And then this is what I was talking about with the sunflowers. They're just too short to harvest, whether the soil's just too deficient now or the days aren't long enough. I'm not too sure what was going on with those, but yeah, everything is just looking a little bit sad. There is some lots of cosmos seedlings though coming up in and amongst here. And I've just been leaving some of these and harvesting them as greens to add to bouquets. And then we've just got some more zinnias, which are powdery mildew ridden, so I haven't been harvesting these. A few of them are okay, but yeah, they're all pretty much going over now. So that is a look at the flower farm at the moment. Lots of work, but I'm hoping some cooler weather that sets in will do some of the work for me in terms of all of the weeds. Turning around and going back up to the last little dahlia patch, which is almost finished for the season. So I'm thinking I might actually even plant my ranunculus in here. I'm not sure yet. Still got a few cuties. But again, a lot of these will just be used for photography and making sure that the plants can put energy back into the tubers so that I can dig those up at some point. These are my seedling dahlias, what I started from seed over on this side. All of these smaller ones I'm not going to bother saving the tubers for. I might for some of these, particularly I liked this one here. This was very blown open, but I also liked this one without the bugs. Without the bugs, it was really pretty. It had like a little bit of a blush pinky center and looked really beautiful. It's been a very productive year for dahlias in this little patch. Other things that are happening, the salvia is blooming. I just love salvias so much, and this one is just so beautiful. It'll gradually turn to a little bit of pinky purple tones. It's kind of starting to do that. A few more straw flowers in here that I will pull and maybe grow some broccoli or maybe some more flowers in here, I don't know yet. And then walking up to the cottage garden near the house. Oh dear, it has so much work to be done, so much work. I don't even really want to walk through it all, but I know that there's a few large plants in there that just need to be pulled out, and then things will look a lot tidier. Like the cucumber vine, I haven't even taken that out. I haven't even moved the cucumbers that I picked in another video. That's been the state of my literal garden burnout at the moment. Focusing on some of the better things, the jonquils are actually coming up down there. So that's exciting, as is just the parsley. The herbs have been doing really well this year. I haven't done anything to this parsley, and I didn't even plant it. It just self-seeded there, which is great. I've been still getting a few tomatoes. The bees are just loving the lavender, so I haven't cut that back yet. The tomato patch is definitely done, and that'll be the future broccoli patch, I think. Still getting a few cucumbers, which is nice. But overall, it is definitely not that productive as it could be. And that is totally fine. The last few sad things to look at are some of my seedlings that just haven't made it. I had plans to plant some basil months ago as a greenery / filler in flowers. Haven't planted that. We've been dealing with some rats and mice outside, and they just have been eating all of the sunflowers that I try and start from seed. So that's the remnants of those. Still got some pots here with some herbs which have been doing fine. The silver beet's still been going well, and same with the plants over here. They just need a bit of water. I had planted this all with carrots and seeded it, and they were all coming up nicely, and then one day I came out here and there was absolutely nothing, and I think a rat or something. I thought it was slugs at the start, but then I couldn't really see any tracks coming up the sides, so I think it might have been some mice ate all of those. And then these were some seeds that I started in a video. I planted some broccoli, onions, silver beet, and they have since gone to the plant graveyard. So there you go, that is a little garden tour of what the garden is looking like at the moment. I mean, despite all of this and how things are looking, which again, I want to reiterate is completely normal in autumn. This is how a lot of our gardens are looking at the moment. This video is not in any way supposed to be me like complaining or anything. I just want to normalize that gardens start to look like this after a while. And when you've had a really busy summer season, this is what they start to look like. But as I was saying, I'm still getting really beautiful bouquets out of the garden. Like all of the dahlias are still blooming and just looking beautiful in the bouquets that I made the other day. And also it's just giving the bugs and the insects and the soil a little bit of rest time and a little bit of time to just recuperate, for things to break down if there's roots and microbes and bugs in the soil to just do their thing. So it's not always a bad thing to just leave plants in the ground. Obviously, if you're starting to get really major weeds, then you might want to consider, like I definitely need to do down the back, to just go do a little bit of a tidy and a bit of a weed. but also to just not worry about some of the plants that have maybe been in the ground a little bit too long or aren't looking at their best. They're still acting as a function in your garden, protecting the soil, giving habitat for wildlife. So they're still doing their job and still benefiting your garden. I can still have a few more days of my little break from the garden because of all this rain coming, so it'll probably be another week or so before I get out in the garden and get to doing all of those garden jobs. And the wind is definitely picking up and I can see some rain coming in now, so I'm going to head back inside and just do some inside work for the next few days before I go on my trip and have a little bit of a break from the garden, so that I can be a little bit more reinvigorated and have energy to be able to continue working in the garden and doing things that I love. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a different one, and again, I'm sorry that I haven't really been posting a lot lately. I've just really needed a break from filming and editing and just getting some other things in my life sorted. It's been a very busy time, and there's lots of things going on that can't wait to update you in the near future, hopefully. If you're also feeling a little bit run down, it's fine. It's completely normal. It is coming to the time when we do need to rest and we do need to relax our bodies a little bit so that we don't get to the stage where we can't do absolutely nothing in the garden. Thank you so much for joining me on this little garden walk and for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and if you would like to see extra content, I do have some extra videos up on Patreon where I've been putting a little bit more time into, so you can head over there, and it's just a small fee to financially support me over there. It really does help me out to continue to make these videos and to buy new gear, and I just really am appreciative of your support over there. I'd love to know what's going on in your gardens right now, what you're planting, what you're excited for. Give me some motivation. I would love to read all of your comments in the comment section. And thank you so much for being here. Take care of yourself if you're also feeling a little bit tired this time of the year. But yeah, thank you so much for watching wherever you are in the world. And until my next one, happy gardening, everyone. Bye.